Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk about a prospect that I don't think is talked about nearly enough. That prospect is Javonte Williams, the running back out of North Carolina. At the running back position, it seems like everyone is so caught up with Najee Harris and Travis Etienne that it seems like people have forgotten about the likes of other running backs in this class, like Javonte Williams, for example. With that being said, I understand that Javonte Williams is not a universally agreed upon elite level running back in this class, but I'm here to show you why he needs to be considered with that group of running backs in this class. So before we dive into the film, I want to share my thoughts to give you a baseline knowledge of the kind of player that Javonte Williams is before we actually show you who he is. First and foremost, Javonte Williams stands 5'10", 220 pounds, which is the requisite size that we search for in an NFL caliber running back. So, not only that, he uses his size, strength, and his exceptional balance to fight for extra yards on a regular basis. His physical and powerful frame do not come at a cost to his elusiveness on the field. His thick and powerful frame allows him to absorb contact exceptionally well. Additionally, his overall feel and vision for the position is outstanding. He does a great job of following his blockers and he runs with excellent patience. In these situations, he does a really good job of putting his hand on the back shoulder of his lineman to feel where the leverage is and where he can make his cut. As a runner, he has outstanding balance, burst, and acceleration. But Javonte Williams is much more than an elite runner. He also has great hands and he demonstrates this on a play-to-play basis. He runs good routes out of the backfield, and he's a high-effort blocker in pass protection most of the time. As a whole, he is a plus in pass protecting, but he still has inconsistencies in this category, and he's going to want to work on that coming into the next level. Another question that is going to face Javonte Williams coming into the next level is, can he handle a full workload? While he was at North Carolina, he split carries with Michael Carter, so when he's coming into the NFL, he's going to have to show these teams that he can handle a full 20 to 25 touch workload a game. Another issue that I see in his game is that when he goes to make cuts, he gears down. He doesn't really show that he's able to make cuts at full speed. My final issue with his game is that while he can make a guy miss, he does lack elite wiggle. The missed tackles that he forces are generally due to contact. He seeks out contact and he bounces off defenders as opposed to using wiggle in space to free himself and create separation from the defender. My comparison for Javonte Williams is the Ohio State product from last year's draft, J.K. Dobbins. I think they have a very similar size, build, and frame, and I think that they use that frame in a very similar way, and I could see him having a very similar role to the one J.K. Dobbins had this past year with the Baltimore Ravens. Okay, so now I want to start digging into the film. On this first play, you're going to see Javonte Williams show everything that I just mentioned he does so well. This play is exactly why in 3 to 4 years down the road, we could look back on him as the best running back from this class. On this play, before he even gets the ball, he acknowledges that his offensive line was beat. So when he gets the ball, the first thing he does is he turns left and he busts to the edge of the line. When he gets to the end of the line of scrimmage, he does a great job of planting his foot and busting upfield. And once that he gets upfield, he does what he does best. He forces missed tackles. So when he gets the ball here, I want you to watch him get to the end of the line of scrimmage and then turn upfield and get vertical. Here, he's going to initiate contact and create yards after contact. And there he goes. That's a 40-yard gain. So as I mentioned, this is what he does so well. He's a very instinctive runner with a natural feel for the position, and he's a violent runner who creates missed tackles using contact. On this next play, what I want to highlight is I want to highlight his burst and his contact balance. When he gets the ball here, he's going to have a wide open running lane, and what he's going to do is he's going to burst to and through it. Once again, he's going to put his foot on the ground, and he's going to get upfield. Once he gets vertical, he has a defender to challenge him. What he's going to do is he's going to try to hurdle the defender. The defender's going to make contact with his lower half, but it doesn't matter. Javonte Williams has such good contact balance that he's able to keep his balance, land, and continue churning out yards. Once again, staying with contact balance, on this next play, what I want you to see is he's going to get the ball and he's going to go to the right side. This could be an outside running play, and early he's going to have contact. Once again, he's going to jump, he's going to avoid the contact, and he's going to keep his balance. Once he regathers himself, he's going to put his foot in the dirt again, burst up the field, and right before the end zone, he's going to absorb more contact, and with a defender holding onto his foot, he's going to gather himself and make a lunge for the end zone, getting the touchdown. His contact balance is elite, and this play illustrates it beautifully. Contact balance is a trait that you're going to find in most of the high-end level running backs in the NFL today. The first that comes to my mind is Alvin Kamara. What makes him so great at what he does is his ability to make yards after the catch because of his contact balance. Now, I am in no way comparing Javonte Williams to Alvin Kamara. I wanted to use Alvin Kamara's contact balance as an illustration of what having elite level contact balance can do for you in the NFL. Now, on this play, there's a few things that I want to show you. First of all, once again, he demonstrates contact balance. As he busts through that line, he's going to have a defender at his feet, and he just furthers the point that arm tackles around the feet aren't going to get him down. Following his forced missed tackle, what I want you to pay attention to is just before the 40-yard line, when he goes to make his break, what he does is he throttles down. Which goes back to what I said when I mentioned that he lacks the elite level wiggle in space. What he more so relies on is jump cuts to free himself. On this next play, we're going to have a left tackle and a center both pulling. The center is going to get the kick out at that defensive end, and the left tackle is going to follow that white line that I have traced on the screen. He's going to be the lead blocker for Javonte Williams on this play. What's going to happen is when the left tackle lead blocks up the middle, Javonte Williams is going to put his hand on that tackle's back, and he's going to feel the leverage that he has. What this does for Javonte Williams is this allows him to know where his tackle is and where that tackle has his leverage without actually having to have his eyes on him. This allows Javonte Williams to put his eyes back upfield into the second and third levels to find out where there are defenders and where he needs to travel. With his hand on the offensive lineman's back, he's able to feel the offensive lineman is leaving to go block the strong side linebacker. When he feels that, he's going to cut to the left side of the offensive tackle, and he's going to cut upfield to challenge that safety. What this play shows, along with the few that I'm going to let run following it, is that he plays with a great deal of patience. He's a very patient runner, and he's calculated in his movements. But when he finds a hole, he does well to burst through it and get as many yards as he can. Behind the line of scrimmage, he regularly pauses, but he doesn't stop his feet. He sits there and he waits for his blocks to develop before he makes his move. With that being said, when a hole does form, he is quick to spring to it. With his combination of vision, patience, and subtle movements behind the line of scrimmage, he gets the most out of every single run. He's at his best, however, on outside zone runs when he has a lead blocker. As I mentioned though, Javonte Williams is not just an outstanding runner. He also needs to be accounted for in the passing game. Javonte Williams has great hands when both catching out of the backfield and over the middle. In addition to that, he runs exceptional routes out of the backfield, and on broken plays, he does a great job of freeing himself to give his quarterback an outlet when he needs it. He is a true three-down back that does not have to leave the field at any point, no matter the down or the distance. The only knock about him being a true three-down back at the next level is the occasional woes that he has in pass protection. Overall, as a pass protector, he can hold his own. He understands what's happening in front of him. He's a high-effort blocker. He's not just out there going through the motions. He's taking guys to the ground, and he's being violent. So, on this play, there's two things I want you to focus on. First of all, energy and effort. Second of all, his ability to pick up a man. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to have two edge rushers off the corner here. Now, Javonte Williams is going to pick up the inside most defenders, as he should. Then, what's going to happen is that other edge rusher is going to get home, and what ends up happening is the sack results in a fumble. The fumble's going to roll downfield about 10 yards, and out of a cloud of players, Javonte Williams is going to emerge, dive on the ball, and recover it for his team. But he still needs to improve in this regard, because in that last play, if you noticed, the man who actually caused the fumble was the guy that Javonte Williams went to pick up. The reason why is Javonte Williams lets off his block to free himself to make himself available for Sam Howell in the passing game. But it ended up leading to the sack and the fumble. So, as I mentioned, he can be good. He flashes excellence in pass protection, but there are instances where he needs to improve, which I will get to now. The two things that he needs to improve on most in pass protection is that he can't put his head down. He needs to keep his head up and keep his eyes on the defender that he's blocking. And the second is just that he needs to hold his block longer. He delivers a nice initial hit, but then he's got to latch on and not let go. On this play, right before contact, Javonte Williams lowers his head and he takes his eyes off the defender. What ends up happening is he ends up whiffing on this block, and this block directly causes the turnover as Sam Howell gets hit as he throws it and the ball launches into the air and gets intercepted by the defensive back. Then, on the next play, what ends up happening is Javonte Williams delivers a nice blow, which is great, but he doesn't latch on, which allows the defender to get back involved in the play, which ends in a sack. With all that being said, Javonte Williams is an exceptional prospect. He does a lot of things really well. He has great vision. He has great contact balance. He's a true 3-down back. There are a few things that he needs to work on. Yes, he needs to be a little bit better in pass protection. And is he a little bit stiff in the hips in the open space? Yes. But I don't think that that's going to keep him from being an elite level running back at the next level. I think that he would be a great value in the second round. As I see him as a starter in the NFL, I think he's going to be a workhorse for an offense. I think he's a true 3-down back, and I think that he's going to find a lot of success at the next level. Well, that's all I have for you today, guys. Tell me what you think. What do you think of Javonte Williams? What do you think about the 2021 NFL running back draft class? I want to hear your thoughts. Share them with me. But until then, we'll see you next time.